Good afternoon, friends. You are most welcome in the 180th episode of the Global TV at a time when President Putin and President Trump just have concluded their meetings, much anticipated meeting for global media and domestic media of Russia and USA. This meeting, as many say, has not yielded any result for what it was meant, because the meeting was meant to discuss about the possibility of ending the war between Russia and Ukraine. At a time when Russia and Ukraine war is in its fourth year, with nearly 5 million people has been displaced from Ukraine to other part of the Europe. While as many believe that Russia and Ukraine was on the agenda, others believe that it was to discuss the growing clout of China and President Trump's tariff. Reason for believing on this is that nearly 1 trillion US dollars business and connected with war weaponry is on the stake. 1 trillion, let me repeat it, $1 trillion connected with the war going on in different parts of the world and the trade between China and USA. Secondly, what media has speculated that something will come out, both the leaders, President Trump and President Putin, denied about it, and the much anticipated meeting in Alaska ended without a joint press statement, and lastly, cancelling the lunch arranged for Russian and American representatives and global media. One very amazing and astonishing fact that Indian media loves to travel abroad on the expenditures of channel owners' money and wasting their time where they are not needed. Let me repeat it. Here in India too, I am witnessing it for past 25 years that a handful selected media persons are chosen, whether it is Congress government or the BJP government. A handful selected media time and again are selected for international trips along with prime minister or on the invitation of foreign organization or foreign governments. And these selected media people are the last persons who have done anything on international front. The people who are working for international platforms and media and have done a tremendous, brilliant, and unparalleled job, they are sidelined. So every time, even Narendra Modi selects a handful selected media, or even the foreign ministry of government of India, they select handful selected media people, and those the name of those media people are repeated time and again in same group. What I mean to say, the same selected media people every time travel abroad along with Prime Minister or on the invitation of Foreign Ministry of India or foreign governments. Those who are working in plinth are sidelined. Anyway, coming to much anticipated meeting between President Putin and President Trump, it had yielded no result, and President Trump has indicated that they both the leaders might meet in Moscow sometime later this year or next year. What it means? It means that war will go on and few more fronts will open sooner or later. We are already in World War III. And here are very beautiful things which comes in my mind. Why President Trump's Herculean effort to engage in war and then building a bridge for peace processes are not giving him desired result. One reason which comes in my mind is due to the big defense manufacturing companies. They want to sell their weapons in international market and to countries so that they earn billions and billions of dollars, and that is possible, that is feasible only if war continues. So this is again a different kind of pressure group or lobby which works along the government and does not want to see the war getting ended sooner. It was not the case when World War One and World War Two started and ended. That time there were no private companies and governments manufactured defense arsenals. But now there are thousands of defense manufacturing companies, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, BAE Systems, Russian companies, Israeli companies, Indian companies, even in the space sector, which was privilege of government space agencies like NASA, ISRO, JAXA, ESA, Chinese Space Agency. Now government of India has allowed private players to come in space technological area, and they are ruining the reputation of India government as well as of ISRO and agencies like NASA, ESA, JAXA. These are some restricted sectors where Narendra Modi government must not allow private players. If they want to save ISRO, same is applied in case of other countries. Now coming to defense manufacturing companies, they have a big plan to sell their arsenals and they claim that they produce everything. Why I am saying so? Because for past several years, I myself is associated with defense companies and they have given me just a letter that I represent them, but they do not pay me because I do not advocate their policy. It's been 10 years. They want me to meet with people in government, but I don't meet because I don't support them. I still feel very strongly that defense sector, space technology sector, and several other sectors are the sectors where Honorable Narendra Modi government should not allow private players if they do not want to play with national security. Now coming to the meeting of President Trump and President Putin. Nothing has been achieved. However, for past 1 week here in India, Indian media has been reporting that a huge arrangement was in place. The number of security personnels, agents of both the countries, Russia as well as USA, were equal. That means if there is one agent from the sides of USA, there was one agent from the sides of Russia. And if there is one luggage from USA side, then there was one luggage from Russia side. Suppose there were 35 to 40,000 security personnel deployed in Alaska for that day. 40,000 from USA side, 40,000 from Russia side, and same number of luggage. Nobody was allowed to knock at the doors of other persons. But here I want to understand why Narendra Modi and Minister of Information and Broadcasting and Press Information Bureau of India has allowed Indian media to go and cover there in a bilateral meeting between Russia and USA. As a saying goes, Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana. Jumping on different occasions by Indian media has been a scene like this, that a bone is thrown uh, in among the some dogs, and they are barking with each other over that bone. So Indian media at least was not needed, and nor it is desired or a mandatory clause on behalf of Indian government to carry on foreign trips same number of journalists and media persons every time. Other people should be given the opportunity who are struggling in media, already suffering Indian media for past several years. I'm not naming anyone. I'm not advocating about anyone. But it's very disheartening to see that foreign governments, Indian government always selects a handful of media persons and same persons every time for a foreign trip. That's very scary situation. And those who are sidelined, who are working independently, they never gets a chance. So that these are the few factors. And finally, my takeaway from the very high end meeting between President Trump and President Putin is: number one, the meeting failed, the peace accord failed as I had predicted, and it states that war will go on. And secondly, that what President Trump has desired, that he might need to meet with President Putin in Moscow, that might happen or that might not happen depending the will of President Putin. And finally, President Trump's peace broker efforts have failed due to the big companies who are into defense manufacturing, because they want to sell their weapon and they want to see that war must go on. Thank you very much.